Hello friends, welcome back to the tetrahedron chemistry classes. So guys, I have accepted many requests from you that I should make a video on the mass spectral interpretation of aromatic esters. So today I am here to explain the mass spectrum of aromatic esters with the possible fragmentation modes. Okay, so you can see here I have drawn this mass spectrum. Unfortunately, actually, I am at my residence, so I am not having the facilities of printouts and all other things, right? So I have made this uh, mass spectrum of your aromatic ester from a certain textbook, right? And this mass spectrum actually, which is shown here, it belongs to your compound which is known as your isopropyl benzoate. Okay, it is isopropyl benzoate. So if you know what is isopropyl benzoate, so you can draw the structure of that isopropyl benzoate. This is your benzene ring which is attached there. This is the carbonyl group, and this carbonyl group is having another oxygen, and this is your isopropyl group, and of course it is having two of the lone pairs. Okay, this is how you can draw isopropyl benzoate. So if you calculate the molecular weight of this particular compound, right, so it will correspond to the 164. So I'm not writing the unit. So 164. So how we can explain the mass spectrum and the different peaks? Say guys, first of all you should know with the very important thing which I have already told you in my previous lectures, that see, whenever you have the aromatic moiety, then the chances of getting your molecular ion peak would be very high. So in that case, you know, this at 164, because this is the molecular weight of the compound, and you are getting this particular peak here at 164 m by z value. You know, this is m by z value, this is the percentage abundance. So this actually is what your molecular ion, right? This is your molecular ion. So that's how we can write the molecular ion symbol, and this peak belongs to the molecular ion peak, right? And then we are having the other peak. So how we can get this molecular ion peak? From the basics of the mass spectrometry, you know, if you bombard this molecule, or if you put this molecule into the mass spectrometer, then 70 electron will attack on this, and one of the oxygen which is one of the electron which is present on the carbonyl oxygen will knocked out from here. Okay, so let's say this one. So you will have the removal of the one electron, and then you are having the resulting species, and that resulting species would look like that. This is your phenyl. Okay, this is double bond O with a positive sign with dot, and one lone pair is already there, and this is the oxygen, and I'm not drawing the lone pair of this particular oxygen. I'll put the lone pairs on it when it will require. Okay, but so far it is not required. Okay, so this is how you have made this one, right? And you know, the removal of the one electron will not change the molecular weight of the compound. So this actually peak is what your molecular ion peak. Okay, and in the see, this molecular ion peak is at around m by z value 164, which is this particular peak. Since the compound is the aromatic, so the chances of getting molecular ion peak is very high. That's why you are finding that molecular ion peak in a quite good abundance. Okay, now the different kinds of the modes which are modes of fragmentation which are possible in it. So first of all, you see here, this is the carbonyl group. This oxygen you can take as alpha, and this carbon is beta, and it is having two gamma carbons here, right? And these are the two gamma carbons, and definitely these two gamma carbons are having hydrogens, because these are the methyl groups and nothing else. So what I can do, I can write three of the hydrogens over there. Clear? And I'll require the three hydrogen of this particular methyl group later on. Okay, and I'll put those hydrogens when it will require. Okay, so first very important fragmentation pattern in this molecule, since you know you are having that gamma carbon, and that gamma carbon is having your hydrogens, that means the gamma hydrogen, and you are having this unsaturated system. So it is quite obvious the fragmentation pattern would be a McLafferty rearrangement. Okay, and you know what is the McLafferty rearrangement? McLafferty rearrangement is simply the transfer of the gamma hydrogen to the unsaturated system. So what we will do, we will transfer one of the hydrogen from here to this carbonyl system. So how it will go in the, you can understand in that manner. Say this was your double bond, okay, this will come up. One, see, I am making only half-headed arrow, half-headed curly arrow, and half-headed curly arrow shows the movement of the one electron only. Clear? And one of the electron will come, you see, I can put here, one of the electron will come here, right? And then one of the hydrogen along with the one electron will move here. Clear? There is no problem in that. And remaining one electron will come to this particular bond, right? And then you see here when it will move here, so your bond, this particular bond which is present between your oxygen and carbon, this will again break, and when it will break, so the one electron will shift here, okay, and another electron will shift at this position between this carbon and between this particular carbon, okay, and ultimately the shifting would occur. So when the shifting would occur, then you will have, say, how you can draw, this is your the benzene part, okay, and see this was now, okay, this bond, this actually electron pair is shifted, so this is single now, and this is O and H, so this is single bond, okay, and a positive and dot over there. Clear? And this was your single bond oxygen. One electron had shifted from here and other one came from here, so it is double now. So this is your another molecular ion, and then what you left with, actually you can check here, because one of the hydrogen has moved, so this will now CH2. There is no problem, okay, and then you see the single bond was already there, and one electron came from the cleavage of this particular bond, and one electron came from this particular cleavage of this particular bond, so it is double bond. And this was the carbon in the center, which I have marked as the beta, which is already having the hydrogen, and then this is the methyl group, okay, so you can put the CH3 here. So this is the neutral fragment, and in mass spectrometry generally we are not interested in the neutral fragment. So mass spectrometer cannot identify this. So if you count the total weight of this particular compound, so you will have 122. This is at 1 by Z 122. Okay, see 7 carbons are there, 12 sevens are 84, right? See, if I can write here only 6 carbon was there, 6 and 7 carbon was there, that means 84. Okay, 2 oxygens were there, it simply means you are 32, and then you are having your 6 of the hydrogens. That means 6. If you add all of them, then it would be a 2 and 2. It is 122. So we are getting the peak at 122. And see guys, another mode, see, you are getting the peak here at 122. So how you can actually, there is a trick also how you can actually identify the things actually. See, you are having 164 here. Okay. Next peak, if you are interested in the 122 say, so what you will do, you will subtract 122 from here. If you subtract the 122 from here, so it will give you the 42. Okay, 42 is nothing but it is the weight of the propene, molecular weight of the propene. This is the trick actually, right, which I have explained in my previous lectures also. So this is the McLafferty arrangement which is giving the peak at 122. Okay, now in the next step, what you can do, say for example, if I move further, then there occurs the alpha cleavage, and this is the very important mode of fragmentation in case of the ester. So this is, you see, this is the carbonyl group, and this bond is the alpha bond. When this bond is the alpha bond, what will happen? This will break here, from here, and this electron pair, now it is a double-headed arrow, that means this whole electron pair, this covalent bond will shift it here, and OH radical will remove from here. Okay, and when OH radical will remove from here, then you have a very important species in the aromatics. Generally, whenever you are having the carbonyl group attached to the system, you are having this particular peak, very important, very important one, right? It is the most important peak actually. So what will happen in that case? You see this hydroxyl has removed. Now you left with the carbon, this one, and double bond oxygen with this one, and one of the electron pair has moved from here. So it's a triple bond now. So when your oxygen is forming the triple bond, that means it is deficient. So you can put positive over there. So this is the cation which actually would be identified by the mass spectrometer. So if you calculate the molecular weight of this one, MYZ, so it would be 105. So you are getting the peak at 105, and you know, see this peak you see it is the most abundant peak, and see this is the base peak actually. Base peak, and I already told you in the mass spectrum the peak with the highest intensity is called the base peak. Okay, so this is carboxy phenyl type of the system, very important in the aromatics it generally forms. And why the the intensity of this peak is very high, why it is the base peak? Because it is a quite stable system, right? This electron, see, I'm not going to draw the resonance structure for this one. This electron pair can move from here to here, then the conjugation will take place. So due to conjugation, the species is quite stable, and it will reach in more number to the detector. Okay, and another possible reason you may find that this is not the only mode of formation of this carboxyphenyl type of the system which is giving the peak at the MZ 105. There are other modes also which can produce this particular ion. We will see this on the later. And one very important rule, right? Very important rule which you should always remember whenever you have this particular system, then in the next step the removal of the carbonyl group will occur. So this is the carbonyl group. What you do, you remove the simple neutral carbonyl from here, or when you remove the simple neutral carbonyl from this particular system, what you left with? You left with this system only, the phenyl cation. Okay, and whenever you are having the phenyl cation, it simply means, you know, the benzene is having the molecular weight of the 68, because 6 carbon, that is 72, that is your 72, yes, and then 6 hydrogen in the benzene, that it will make the 78, but positive charge is there, that means it has lost one of the hydrogen, so its MZ should be 77. Okay, so next peak we are getting at 77. So you have explained this 77, and phenyl cation, you know, due to the aromatics, it is quite a stable system, that's why it is also abundant. So this is how very simply you can actually you can interpret the mass spectrum of the aromatic esters. And another very important, see, this was important, right? Very important. Now the next step is another very fine step and another very important mode of fragmentation in the mass spectrum, right? Whenever you have the phenyl cation, so it generally actually breaks into the two systems, right? It removes say this ethylene from here, so I can write CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, when, see, it was having your C6 H5, this was just, the system is like this, and now you have removed 2 carbon and 4 hydrogen. So if you remove, say I am writing here minus C2 H4, so what you left with? C4, okay, and H1. Sorry, not this will remove actually ethine, not this one. This will remove C2H2, right? Sorry, C2H2. So you left with what? C4H3 with positive charge, right? So what is this actually? This what is this? So you can draw this structure also here. So since this is a very important structure and you always encounter this structure in the mass spectrometry, so I am drawing this structure with a different color. Okay, that is positive charge over there. Okay, and if you see here, one hydrogen is attached here, one hydrogen is attached here and another hydrogen is attached here. 4 carbons are there. This is cyclobutadienyl cation, right? Cyclobutadienyl cation you are having it. Okay, so now what you can see here in that case, right? If you are having this cation, so you can count the you can actually determine the m by z value of this one. Unfortunately, my pen actually, my black pen has finished now. So this is m by z, and if you calculate the weight, 4 carbons are there, that is 48, 49, 50 and 51. So this is m by z 51 you're getting. Okay, so this is how you can explain this particular peak, m by z 51. So these are the very important fragmentation which you should always keep in mind. Okay, now see next in the, see whatever I am explaining for this aromatic ester, you will keep in mind all the rules as a guide, and by using these rules you can actually interpret the other aromatic esters also, which are given in the various textbooks. You can use your Jagmohan, you can use your Pavia Lempman, you can use your P.S. Kalsi, any book you want, right? You can take the spectrum from there and then try to assign the peaks of this given aromatic ester using this guide which I am explaining to you. Okay, now the next very important fragmentation, very important fragmentation in that case is your double hydrogen transfer rearrangement. Double hydrogen transfer rearrangement. Okay, this is very important. But remember, whenever you are having the aromatic ester and you are going for the McLafferty rearrangement as I did here, for this you have to have the gamma hydrogens. Okay, if you are not having the gamma hydrogen, then you will not apply this particular rule. This also you should keep in mind actually. So how actually the mechanism goes, you can understand in that manner. So I am drawing this molecular ion again here because I need this one, right? So you can see here. Okay, it is going out of the scale. Say for example you are having this particular structure, oxygen is here, and you are having, say now I can draw all of the hydrogen over there because I need all these hydrogens. Okay, so when I'm drawing this one, the first step is actually the quite same, which is just like your McLafferty rearrangement, transfer of the gamma hydrogen. So this was your alpha, this was your beta, this was your gamma, this was your another gamma. When 2 gamma positions are there, then definitely the double McLafferty rearrangement type of the thing would be there, right? Or say the double hydrogen transfer reaction. So in that case, what will happen, you see, I'm drawing it in very simple manner. This was the case, this was their molecular ion, and one of the hydrogen actually will move to this system. Okay, when it will move to this particular system, what it will result actually, so it will simply give you this. Now retain the double bond as such, OH, okay, and a positive over there. And remember, this hydrogen has moved with only 1 electron, okay, not with the 2 electron. So 1 electron of this OH bond is contributed by the oxygen itself, and another one hydrogen actually bring along with it. Okay, and now you see in the next step what will happen, oxygen would be there. Okay, and after oxygen you are having this these 3 hydrogens, 1, 2 and 3, and then you are having CH2 here with a dot, because one of the hydrogen has moved, so it would be CH2 now, and it will put one of the electron on the system itself. I can put in that manner. So that's why this dot is over there. Okay, so this cation you get actually. Now there is a possibility of moving second hydrogen, that means double hydrogen transfer in that case. So what will happen in that case? This bond will break and one electron will come here. This hydrogen along with the 1 electron will come here, and 1 electron it will give to this system. Okay, and since this has broken, so 1 electron it will put here in that case. Okay, so what is the next species which you will get? So the species which you will get, see this one, there is no problem in that. And double bond oxygen and hydrogen you were having with the positive sign, cation. Okay, and after that this O has received the hydrogen and this bond has completely broken. So this is your OH in this way. And what has removed from here actually? So this was CH2. So you can simply write the CH2 here. One electron is it is already having, right? And another electron can actually you see in that case. So you can put positive there. It is already having. So this is the single bond. You can put the single bond. This is actually your carbon, which is having one hidden hydrogen, CH. And now this was single. Now this was become double again. And this one has, since one of the hydrogen has transferred, so this would be CH2. This is your actually radical. Okay, and if you check the molecular weight m by z value of this particular species, m by z, okay, so this is what actually, this is your 123. Okay, 6 carbon are there. Okay, for 6 carbon it is 72, then 72 and 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 78, or after that you are having your 32. Okay, so did I make any mistake? No, I'm not making any mistake. Okay, 12 sevens are 84 actually. 7 carbons are there. So if I can write 12 sevens are 84 plus 7 hydrogens plus 32. Okay, then 7 to 9, 9 4, 13, carry 1, 8, then you are having 3, 8 3 12. Okay, 8 3 11, 11 plus 1, 12. Okay, 123. So it is, you're getting the peak at the 123. Okay, this is how you can take. And this species, guys, you know, is a very important species because it is resonance stabilized. This species is resonance stabilized. So I'm not going to draw the resonance structure. You can see here, this electron pair can shift here, this can go up, so this will get positive and this will become just like that. So 123. So you can see here, one of 123 is another very important peak here, and it is having the quite good abundance actually. It is more intense than your molecular ion peak due to this resonance stability. Okay, and now from here you can see a very important aspect which I am going to explain. This 123, right, it readily removes a certain fragment from here to give this particular species 105. What you can do, you can remove water molecule from here, minus H2O. So if you want to remove the water molecule from here, what you will do, see, this will go along with electron pair, and this electron pair will grab this hydrogen. So OH negative will combine with H positive to give water molecule. Okay, in that manner. And the bond which was present between the oxygen and the hydrogen will come here, and it will give you this particular species. So this is another mode of formation of this particular species. Okay, and I think there is one more mode which can produce this particular structure, and that mode is, okay, I can draw from here only. I can draw from here only. So this is the molecular ion which you have made here actually. This can also undergo the alpha cleavage. This can also undergo the alpha cleavage, and when it will go and it will undergo the alpha cleavage, what will happen? This particular fragment, so I am drawing it with red actually, right, so that you have very clear idea about. So alpha cleavage I am writing here. So this will cleave in that manner. Okay, one electron will go with this oxygen and another will shift over there, and one will come from here. So this will make phenyl carbon triple bond oxygen, and of course this part will remove from here, oxygen, and you are having 1 2 and 3 carbon, so you see 3 and 3 3 6 1 7 7 hydrogen, so you can put H7, right? This radical you are getting actually, right? So you can see this 105, why it is the base peak, because it is forming through this alpha cleavage. It is forming with this particular fragment which remove actually the OH radical from here. It is also formed from this particular species which undergoes the dehydration to do this particular peak. That's why it is actually quite important to know about these peaks, right? So you have explained all the peaks in that case, right? You have explained 43, you have explained your 59, I think you have already explained. 51 actually you are explained. You didn't explain this 43, but there is no need to explain all the things. So these are the very important some of the reactions of your to interpret actually aromatic esters. I hope this makes the sense actually. So to practice this, I can give you one more example very quickly. I am not going to explain the entire spectra of this one. What you can do, you can try to assign the peaks of that particular compound. You can find the spectra in the textbook actually. But here the important thing which I can explain here, which is your ortho effect. You know the ortho effect is very common in GOC, general organic chemistry. So it also plays the part here. So what is the ortho effect? See, this particular compound which I have made for you here, it is the simply your isopropyl benzoate. It is not having any substitution at this position, that is ortho, or this position that is ortho. Whenever you are having the substitution at ortho position in the ester, right, aromatic ester, and that particular thing is having the hydrogen, then your ortho effect becomes very important, and it will affect the appearance of your mass spectrum. How? Say I'm giving you a say type of a question, right? Say for example, you have been given this particular compound. See, you are having this particular compound, methyl benzoate. I can call it as methyl benzoate. So if you calculate the molecular weight of this methyl benzoate, so it would be, molecular weight would be your 150. Okay, and corresponding to this one, M by Z, if you take, it will give you the 150 molecular ion peak. You can put dot and positive over there. Okay, right? So how? It's quite simple here. Put a dot and positive over there. So this is your molecular ion. Now say you have been given a question, explain the structure of the peak which appears at M by Z 118. So you have to explain the formation of this particular 118 in the M by Z value. How you will explain this particular one? So for this you have to have this substitution here. Carbon, hydrogen, and 2 hydrogen I am writing as such. Okay. Now what important fragmentation can occur in this molecule? Okay. See what will happen. This is your bond, double bond, it will shift over there, and you know this will break, this bond will break, alpha cleavage would occur in that case. This is the alpha cleavage. Okay, and when it is negatively charged, this will get the electron pair that it can grab this hydrogen from this CH3 group, and this electron pair, now because this water will remove here from H positive, right, as H positive, because it is CH3O negative, because the electron pair has shifted. So this will move here, this electron pair will move here. So what is the resulting species you will get actually? Okay, so resulting species which you will have, so first of all this CH3, okay, and then oxygen, this one, and this hydrogen it has grabbed, OH. Okay, and you know the molecular weight of this particular compound, 12 plus 3 plus 16 plus 1, 42, sorry 32, isn't it? Yes, it is 32. Okay, and you know it is having the molecular weight of 150. So if you subtract 32 from this 150, it will give you 180. That this is that peak actually, right? 118. This is this peak. So what is the structure of that peak? You see, this was the system in that manner. This double bond had shifted, so this would become double. Carbon is already there, and this has shifted here, so this would be double bond again with CH2. There is no problem in that. Okay, and when this will happen actually, right? When this will happen in that case, so you will have this carbonyl as this species positive and dot over there, and this value, actually this fragment correspond to the 118. So this is how you can explain the mass spectrum of the ester. I hope actually you like the lecture or you understood the things clearly. Okay, and what you can do, you can use these fragmentation pattern as guide to interpret the mass spectrum of the aromatic esters. Okay guys, and I hope you like the lecture, and if you understood the things clearly, grasping the things clearly, kindly share tetrahedron chemistry classes with your friends also. Okay guys, and if you are new viewer here, please subscribe the channel and don't forget to like the video if you really liked it. So that's it for today. Thank you very much.